Today we've got some big rounds from the wood service. They're oak. They're actually post oak, which is great. But we need the big bar, so we're gonna go over here and switch it up. 62 with a 24-inch bar on there that stays on there most of the time. But the rounds we got from the wood service, they're big, so we're gonna go with the 32-inch bar. So this is with the 24-inch bar. We're gonna go ahead and throw that 32-inch on there, give us some more cutting room to get through some of these big rounds. So let's get started. The nice thing about this 462 is these nuts are actually built into the guard, so that way you don't lose them in the grass and have to go find them. One of the things I've ordered a few of from Amazon or whatever are replacements for that. All right, a little side-by-side comparison. There you go. There's your difference. I've seen some pretty cool videos where people do like these speed records on how fast they can get this on there. That is definitely not me. I'm a nice and slow, methodical guy. I like to throw it over the end of the chain, then see if I can get it over the sprocket, and then get it in place. Everybody's got their own preferences, like sharpening a saw. They're gonna give me all kinds of grief in the comments, and I don't care about how I should have put the bar on first, or I should have done this first. Just do whatever works. Don't listen to anybody that gives you grief. It's not worth the drama. I'm going to loosen this up a little bit, make it a little easier. I didn't do that part when I got started, so the first hateful comment will come in saying you don't even know to tighten up the chain tightener. Right. This bar is nice and heavy, so it makes it a little challenging to get it on there. All right, we're on there. We're flowing, and then I get this guy on there just to keep the bar from falling off the sprocket. Just finger tightening her right now. I always make sure that the chain still goes, because sometimes I put it on there so crooked that it won't even tighten up. Then just tighten it up a little bit. Luckily, this chain looks pretty sharp, so I probably don't need to do any touch-ups on it. I can just get started. Just get that nice and tight. I think it's a little play. I'm happy with that. Go to the edge of your working table or storage container like I got. You can actually go all the way around. All right, one more time. It's a little tight. Later, because I'm done cutting, but let's get over here and show you why we put the big bar on the 462, because tree service was nice enough to bring the wood to me. A lot of times I'll take them my dump trailer and save them a drive to the dump. But look at these post oak rounds. Holy moly. Yeah, some of these are some big beefy ones. Put that down there. So yeah, look at this. Put my hand up here for comparison. Yeah, I go over here, stand next to this guy. Put this camera down, look at this. So I'm 6 foot tall. Look at this thing. And it's, I don't know, 24, 30 inches across. So that's why we put the 32-inch bar on there. But this is post oak. Got a little grossness here, but man, the majority of this, solid as a rock. This piece has got a little bit of punkiness I can see, but the rest of these I looked at, they're solid, solid, solid. There's like good quality barbecue wood up in there, ready to go. So we're going to cut some of these up and make some rounds. Barbecue customers that like this Post oak, they don't care if it's 16 inches. So that way I'll go ahead and cut it like the normal firewood length. And a few of these I may cut a little in half just because they look like 30-inch rounds or maybe 24-inch rounds. We'll cut those in half and it'll be okay if they're 12 inches. They throw them in the firebox and get some good smoke on some barbecue down here in Louisiana. Do a good job. But yeah, we're gonna do some post oak. We're gonna work hard to get some of these dang things bucked up. Post oak smells good, so that's kind of fun. And then I've got a bunch of oak over here that I need to cut. So if I have any energy left while I got the long bar on there, I'll try to do that. Because you can stand up and buck. It makes it a little easier than having to bend over and fight with it. But let's get started. straight from the Captain Obvious Files. A sharp saw with a lot of power is a whole lot more fun to use than a dull saw. So keep your saw sharp. You can tell it's sharp when it's throwing up chips, not sawdust. And also, one of the things I noticed is that heavy bar really helps me out, because lugging it around is no fun, but I'm real heavy-handed, so I like to push real hard when I'm cutting, and I think that works the saw a little bit too hard, so I just kind of let the weight of that 32-inch bar kind of drag through. But I'm out of gas, as you saw in that last video, ran out. Went ahead and got most of that. I did my best to make sure that I didn't touch the ground, because I want to keep that sharp saw nice and sharp. I did cut off a tiny little cookie there. Maybe we'll make something out of that, but I did want to get good 16-inch pieces. This one, I'm gonna hit it in a minute with an axe, and that should go right through. But 1, 2, 3, 4, working on that one. That'll be 5. There's 6 rounds off of that 32-inch bar, and it took all of the 32-inch bar, so that's a pretty big post oak. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with how that saw is cutting right now. We'll put up some more gas, and then after that next tank of gas, we'll run the file through it again. I won't do it out all on video, but good post oak, good barbecue wood, good sharp saw, working its tail off over there, sticking in the middle of that wood. Again, that's a 32-inch bar, as you can tell, with the tripod in the way. She just barely reaches the other side. But pretty happy. So hey, if you haven't liked and subscribed, please do so. Helps the channel, helps us continue to support the things we're doing here, and cut our prices down on firewood so we can keep this as a hobby and not try to gouge people. But pretty excited. One of these days I'm gonna figure out the next thing. If y'all know, give me a link. How do I make pellets for those cheaters that use the Traeger grills and only use the smoker pellets? Because this stuff smells awesome. I think it'll be good. And right now it just stays here and sometimes goes with the chickens, but there's got to be a better way. Yeah, like and subscribe. Thanks.